My name is Amy Edmondson, and I am a professor at Harvard Business School, and I study teaming and leadership and organizational learning. So since the publication of Teaming, I've been looking out at the horizon of very challenging social goals. We have environmental challenges, we have public health challenges, innovation challenges of all kinds. And by innovation challenges, I mean I'm quite interested in the kinds of challenging problems that will require innovation to solve. And I've observed that more and more of these kinds of challenges require people to collaborate and team up, not just within organizations, but across them and between them. So I started taking a look at the challenges of teaming across organizations and found it to be a bit daunting and necessary. I do think there's growing recognition among people, especially young people, but in many different professions, that we're going to have to start working together in new ways. But I am seeing more and more projects that require or involve teaming across different organizations, where these different organizations are not just, say, suppliers or customers of each other, but often are even in different sectors. So nonprofit organization teaming up with a corporation, teaming up with a government agency to, say, improve farmer income in Haiti, for example. Much of the time, such partnerships in the past were scripted, or we're looking for someone who can supply X. Can you supply X? Yes, you can. But that didn't involve intense, real-time, reciprocal conversations back and forth between people to figure out, wait a minute, what shape is this going to take? How is it going to look? How are we going to work together? So when the terrain is a bit more ambiguous and what's going to work is less clear in advance, then we're really teaming up to innovate together. And that's quite different than teaming up to supply or contract something with each other. I'm hoping to understand better how we can develop and enable leaders with longer-term perspectives, right? So how can we help people care about not just the near term, but the longer term? What are the attributes? What are the skills? Who are the different players and partners that will have to work together and inform each other to understand how to help organizations really provide value for society over far longer time frames than has been traditional in the past. Not just stick around for a long time, but leaders who are persistently, deliberately thinking about the long-term health and survival, not just of their organization, but of the various constituents that they serve. There are so many challenges. I mean, I think, and some of them are psychological, and some of them are technical. So the psychological challenges are we just don't see eye to eye, and we're not even aware that we don't see eye to eye. In the world I come from, let's say I'm working for this company, or I'm working at this university, this hospital, what have you. Over time, I come to take for granted what matters, how we see things, who speaks to whom, and so on. And so when I'm working with someone from a very different organization, it's more likely than not to surprise me when you say something that sort of conflicts with my deeply held view of how things are supposed to unfold. So those are kind of psychological, interpersonal. And then, of course, there are very real technical challenges of different expertise, different time frames, different incentives, different technology that we have to also understand and overcome to work together.